hours later, a simple solution. They temporarily borrow some stands from the Engine Research and Development Department. Time to mount the frame to the engine. That frame is classically Italian. It's a critical structural piece. Andrea Giovanelli runs a small plant about 10 kilometers south of the MV factory in Varese, Italy.
It is the factory where the frames of MV Agusta are built.
Frames built by cutting and welding steel pipes. It's called a trellis frame. Its design combines strength and beauty.
This is a tube of high-strength steel that will be bented. They come here, cut in line in the right dimensions, and by means of this machine, we will bend in the right shape for the frame of the motorbike.
Clamps hold the tubes together.
So here we are in the stations where we weld our frames.
Sub-assemblies fit into one last big jig.
In this station, we put together all the sub-assemblies that you see here, and after that, the frame has its shape and can go to the next step with this finishing welding. Before our final station, where we finish our frames, we perform sandblasting to clean them perfectly.
The sandblasting machine looks menacing. With the doors closed, sand swirls around at incredible speeds. It's like being caught in the worst desert dust devil you could imagine. Then, one final check.
This is an F3 brand new frame, and we measure it with this special machine.
For MV, precision means performance.
So it's a great frame. I am very optimistic about not only the performance in the street, but the performance in the racetrack.
Finished frames will carry the fuel tank and body parts of the new bike. The tank is one of the hardest parts to design for the F3.
Actually, it was one of the last parts of the bike that was modelled because it really took ages to get such simple surfaces and simple shapes to a final conclusion. It really was one of the most difficult components to develop in terms of styling. Taking this as a final sign-off component, we can give the information to a supplier that makes the final plastic fuel tank.
The fuel tanks are made in a factory about 50 kilometers southeast of the MV factory. Silvio Gastaldi is in charge of making sure every F3 fuel tank and fairing, or body panel, is perfect.
What we produce for MV Agusta, the raw material delivered in plastic bags. The raw material itself is a kind of granulate. It's black plastic in this case. For one fairing, probably we need 10,000 or 20,000 of these small bubbles or granulates of raw material.
The plastic granules are mixed with water and then pushed through a series of tubes to a drying machine.
After the drying of this raw material, we transport the raw material directly through these tubes to the injection machine.
The raw plastic is heated, turning it into a kind of plastic goo, which is forced into a powerful injection molding machine.
We have then the liquid plastic, and with one shot it goes into the tool, into the mold, to give the final form.
The molding machine squeezes each part with 2,700 tons of pressure. In little more than a minute, the plastic is squeezed into a finished part.
So this is what we get out of the mold. It is solid. It needs normally around about 30, 40 seconds to cool down the liquid plastic to a solid plastic.
Now, fuel tanks and body parts move to the painting line.
So completely round in the line is about 2.5 hours due to cleaning, painting times and drying of the paint in the oven.
The final step is quality control.
This is a special measurement device only for colors.
That device is a color spectrum meter. It checks that every painted piece matches exactly.
To be sure that we paint the part in the correct color, because all these white parts from one motorcycle must match.
If all the colors match, the fuel tanks and fairings are packaged and sent to the MV Agusta factory. The F3 is nearly ready for final production.
We are setting up the production line to produce the F3. Everyone calls me by name, not Mr., but by name.
We saw that the father and the son were growing in the passion. So that is a kind of guarantee for the future for us.
The F3 is another part of the future for MV.
New bike is the best new bike. total more or less 10 hours, no, to assemble one bike.
It's very interesting to see that in the morning you see that the bike is only a lot of pieces, and at the end of the day there is a complete bike that is working. It's amazing.
I just want the production to be on the right timing, because production gives you sales, sales give you revenues, and it's the life of the company.
This morning, the MV Agusta factory is eerily quiet. They're ready to build the new F3. But final testing is running behind schedule.
We had the plan to go in September, we will go at the end of November, but it's okay. I mean, 2 months for a new project is nothing.
Giovanni tries to appear patient. But each week that goes by without full F3 production means no F3 sales. And that could mean the end of MV Agusta. The F3's been in development for years. They're almost there. But the Castiglione family dream and the future of MV Agusta hangs in the balance of one last test.
Tomorrow we are taking F3 to the racetrack to search the final solution before the production of the bike starts.
They strap what amounts to a strange-looking computer hard drive to the back of an F3. It records sensor data from every major system on the bike.
We put the data logger on the bike so we can control what's happened, and after that we can analyze the data.
The race is on to test the bike on the track.
There are not yet software that can help you to tune exactly the bike. At the end, you need, the good rider to go in the racetrack. For F3, it's crucial.
They ride and ride and ride some more. Riders and engineers debrief each other Italian style. Lots of hand gestures. Lots of words. And lots of passion. Everything the rider does and every way the bike reacts is recorded.
So when the bike arrives, we plug in the laptop to the bike. We switch on and we download the data. When we finish to download the data, we can analyze what we need. For example, the gas position, the RPM, all the engine control parameters.
They analyze between 20 and 30 variables simultaneously. Every test confirms the F3 is ready for mass production. Finally, the family dream is about to come true.
Today is a very special day for MV. New baby born F3 is coming down on the line, the first bike. It's been 5 years of research, investment, engine, body and frame, and it's really a great day. So my legacy will be completing the product range to give a company a strong future, become bigger, maybe 2-3 times what we are now.
The new patriarch of Italian motorcycles looks around the factory and thinks about the future.
I have 2 kids, 1 girl and 1 boy. I think the girl, she likes shopping more than doing motorcycle, but the boy, the first word he said is broom broom. So I think it's quite positive.